Make the country bright, yeah. Start the journey today. Log on to training.nti.org.bb. That's right, the midweek mindset. Hot 95.3 FM, not inside the studio this afternoon. We got a new guest. Kind of new guest, because you're new to me right now. Tahir, good afternoon to you. What's happening, King?
Good afternoon, Indian. Good afternoon, Barbados. And I'm just filling in for Sluggy today. This is not down to brass stats. 195.3, but you get yourself.
Yeah.
We have a special guest in house with us today.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that guest in a moment. Let's start the studio this afternoon. We have Mrs. Nicole Daniel, the Social Development Project Manager of the One Family Program, a poverty reduction initiative under the Ministry of People, Empowerment and Affairs, which addresses the needs of the most vulnerable persons across Barbados. She holds an MSc in the Sustainable Procurement Development Management and a BSc in Economics and Management, and has 15 years of project management experience. In 2015, Mrs. Daniel earned the Project Analyst of the Year, an award for her noteworthy contributions to the Ministry of Finance. As a project coordinator for an IDB funded project, Strengthening Human and Social Development in Barbados, she and her team were honored with the Superheroes of Development Award in 2023. Imagine that, Superheroes Award. I never got that. Now she uses every obstacle as an opportunity to learn and grow, and has a passion for helping others. In November 2021, she was a recipient of the National Humanitarian Award for her sterling efforts, dedication, and commitment to assisting the less fortunate during the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's say good afternoon to Mrs. Nicole Daniel. Good afternoon. What's happening?
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes.
Hi, good afternoon, Barbados.
Yes, welcome to Hot 95.3 FM, the Vibes Tradition, the midweek mindset.
Thank you for
Tahir?
Thank you, Indian. Nicole, welcome to the program. Welcome to Midweek Mindset. Obviously, this is every week brought to you by the National Transformation Initiative. If you have not heard about it, now you hear about it. Log on to nti.org.bb. We have many opportunities. As I said, Sluggy is overseas right now, so unfortunately he cannot join us, but I'm just filling in for him for this week. So, National Transformation Initiative, National Transformation, but this is an excellent program, the One Family Program. Nicole, tell us all about it.
All right, so the One Family Program is a program where we are seeking to empower the lives of 1,000 vulnerable families across Barbados. We want to ensure that we can meet our clients where they're at, teach them how to fish, give them the resources, the tools, etc., to show them how they can be more self-sufficient in life. We want them to not only be dependent on the services that are by the government, but stand on their own, feel empowered, feel enabled, transform their lives to become someone that can be sustainable and someone that can, lend to the community, give back to the community, and thereby feel empowered by whatever it is that they're going to do through this holistic transformation that we are providing to them.
Holistic transformation. Remember that word in your holistic
Transformation.
Remember that word, Barbados. Holistic transformation is key and critical, because we could transform in certain ways, but we got holistically transform in every possible way to become a star agent.
Correct.
That we all aspire to be, and that we all are in some form or fashion. But tell me, Nicole, how were these families chosen? How did you all go about this?
All right, so we recognize that poverty is not just an area where if you don't have any income, you're just classified as poor. Poverty is very multidimensional. So there are various aspects of this poverty. So what we have done is that we've scientifically, chosen these families, selected these families across Barbados. They would have come from these current social services agencies across Barbados, the churches, the schools, postmen, policemen, anyone, even the general public can, provide these names to us. What we do is we on the team are called One Family, because we want to do it together. We want to ensure that we have partnerships with society, private sector, faith-based organizations, all these persons, because we want that community spirit back. We want to be enabled, we want to empower persons, we want persons to stand on their own and be self-sufficient. So as I said, once that eligibility score sheet is completed, then we select the persons, we ensure that they are on board with the program, need to participate. We help them, we find them, we locate, we hold their hands for now, and then we let them loose and be on their own.
That's very important, and I'm glad you spoke on community, because at the end of the day, we're one big family, and I think Barbados has gone away from these family values, community values that we as a society was built on. So we have to go back to this, and that's why I love the name One Family Program, because at the end of the day, no matter what color we is, no matter what race we is, what religion we is, no matter if you're a DJ or if you're a moderator, no matter if you're the executive director, we's one family at the end of the day.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we have to go back to that as our roots and where we are. But you spoke on this holistic transformation. What are some of these areas that you're focusing on as part of this holistic transformation? Because you know, many times you just have programs and in Barbados, you give the $250 a month or a week, or you say, well, or I can give you a little fridge there, or I can give you a little phone to provide to you basic wants. But what's some of these areas of the holistic transformation that you're looking at?
Yes, thanks for asking that. Well, we feel that, being holistically, we are not going to be a hands-out program. I think persons come with the concept that we're just going to be giving. So we want to blend it. We want to look at it at a more targeted approach. We are looking at these vulnerable families and seeing, as I said, we're meeting them where they're at. Through the model, we're going to use the IC Bridge model. And the IC Bridge is ISE. So first, we identify these families, find out who these families are, what their needs are, and how we can help them. Then the S stands for the stabilization. Now the stabilization is very critical because we all have different needs. Persons would come to you and they would say, hi, I'm hungry, I need some help. So we try to provide some level of stabilization within the model. Once that stabilization is done, we try to move on to the next E, which is enablement. So we enable these persons, we give them the tools and the resources that they need in order to move. And then once that is done, and they have used these tools in such a way that they can now give back to society, we want them now to feel empowered. Now, this model is a good model. We based it off the Chilean Punte model, but we tweaked it a little bit because we recognize this is Barbados. So we need to, make it our own. So what we have done as well is that based on this model, we will go through 7 different pillars. Now, the pillars are personal identification. That's the first one. Now, personal identification is all about making sure that persons have, the ID cards, the birth certificates, etc. Those documents that they need to actually access these services throughout Barbados. Once that is done, we have another pillar, which is education and human resource development. Now, education is key. We would say that education would help a person to move out of poverty. So we provide them with those skills. We are engaged with places like the Samuel Chapman Prescott Institute of Technology, the Barbados Vocational Training Board, BCC, NTI, and these are persons that we engage with to help persons in their training opportunities and to become more developed. That personal development is expanded. Once we also recognize one pillar definitely would be employment. And a lot of our vulnerable persons need some level of employment. But in many instances, they don't have the skill set, they don't have the aptitude. So this is where we come in then again. We provide persons with CV writing skills, how to, work in the world of work, how to be enabled, how to, just function, be motivated, how to come to a simple interview. How do you dress? How do you actually, once you get into the world of work, how do you maintain that job? So employment is key, and we reach out to many private sector agencies so that they can come on board with the program to help us to help our most vulnerable. And of course, being that we have 50 social workers, each social worker is assigned 20 of these families, and that makes up the full 1,000. So the social workers then literally hold their hands throughout a 2-year intervention process. And by them holding their hands, I'm saying holding it at the beginning. At some point in time, we will measure their progress, see how they are moving. Once we can recognize a move, we can move on to the next step and see how best we can actually move them and graduate from the program. And by doing that, we can see some level of progress. Now, we are also looking at housing. And housing is very critical because we have a lot of persons across Barbados who the housing situation is poor, the sanitary conditions are poor, and we are looking at housing as well as one of these things. So there are various
Many
pillars,
things.
yes,
Many
lots of
factors.
things. And by doing this together, and all these pillars integrated together, we are holistically looking at it because even a part of family dynamics, making sure that the families work and communicate
Right.
together. We know there are some families who may have 2 stoves in their house. And why do they have 2 stoves? Because they're not agreeing with their brother, their sister, and therefore we want them to cooperate and use and pool those resources together so that they can better achieve and accomplish.
Basically attacking the mindset from every single angle.
Yes.
So just a reminder people that this is Midweek Mindset brought to you by the National Transformation Initiative. Log on to nti.org.bb, see the many opportunities that we have. You got anything there? Anything you want to say?
So we'll come back.
Jennifer.
Yeah. Midweek Mindset, Hot 95.3 FM. Oh, you have a situation to what you stores in the house. Like you said, the whole world manage that house. We take a lot of businesses. We got a business partner with that.
So it's things that we need to take advantage of, that, Yes, we're back again. We're back again, Mrs. Nicole Daniel. So how do you handle a situation where you have a household that, they're battling, that they have, 2 stoves? How do you handle a situation like that? Well, because we have that one-on-one relationship, the social worker actually goes into that household and they've worked with this household for the 2 years. So when they recognize the situation, it may be 2 stores, it may be 2 fridges. What we really want to do with this household is to identify and to see the benefits of trying to pool their resources together. Things like these, the fridge, for instance, the fridge now, obviously, if you have 2 fridges, that's a higher electricity bill.
True.
So we need persons to understand, well, hey, if you have 1 fridge and you can share this, the electricity bill is going to be less. And it is a mindset for them as well, because they have come along with this thing in their mind for so long. And we're trying to really break that cycle for them. So we provide counseling for these persons so that they understand the benefits. And when we work with these clients throughout the 2-year period, we're going to be able to see progress. Persons may not move immediately, but they will move at some point in time.
All right, so you mentioned earlier that, you reached out to some businesses. How has the response been for that?
Responses have been good. I think when persons recognize that it is not really a hands-out program, persons get more involved. They want to join in the efforts of trying to help with the community spirit, trying to give back really. And that's what we really want, because if you have persons like teachers who've retired, nurses who've retired, and because we have such pillars within the program where we want this, including health, if you have a retired nurse, and you think that, I don't want the whole 9 to 5 job, you can come back, you can give back to society and say, hey, this is what I want to give my person. Persons in this particular category are suffering a lot of NCDs, and we want to help them be screened. We want to be more proactive. We want them to help exercise, eat healthy, and still within their budget and within their limits. So these are all the things that we really trying to impart with these clients. But the businesses, for sure, we want to make sure that everybody comes on board. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody, every Bajan, because it is a Bajan project. It is a Bajan family. If you need to support, even as an individual, to support our sponsor family, provide levels of mentorship or even coaching, that's something that you can come on board, and I can give the information in terms of how you can be able to contact us. But once you come on board with us, we try to ensure we show you the progress of the clients. We show you how these funds or these services that you have provided to the project helps all the clients across the 1,000 families that we have. So we are eager, so we are waiting. We have Flo on board. Flo is providing internet for us, training, digital training, as well as a device. So we want other partners, we want other persons to come on board. We met with NTI. We know that all the Coursera courses, all those free courses that are out there, that the families, the individuals can benefit. We want them to take these opportunities so that they can feel that self-fulfillment, they can feel that empowerment, and they are ready to be transformed.
Nice.
I'm speechless, boy. This program, I really love the fact the program is so holistic. Barbados, we create a program, and as you say, we operate in these silos.
Yes.
Indian doing something, I doing something, you doing something else. But I love the fact that you're bringing partners together, encouraging everybody to play a part in this big one family, in this big family. So you're telling me that if I was a coach or as a retired football coach, I know the men play football on the pasture, I can come and offer my services and assist. Like if I was an old teacher, even that could happen.
Most definitely.
So Indian could go as the DJ and teach the young men or the young men to be DJs.
Of course, we have to be mindful that these persons are already vulnerable. So we don't want them to, be caught in anything. So we must do our screening processes.
Okay.
So if you're gonna come in to me and say, you want to sponsor a family, you want to be more involved in the family, we are going to take you through a screening process. We don't want them to be, at risk more than they are already.
Sure.
So they're already vulnerable. We don't want them to be taken advantage of. So we do our background checks on the person who will be providing such service and actually working closely with the families to make sure that they're the right fit.
You mentioned background checks. What's the process for that background check?
Now we are engaged with the Barbados Police Service, and to ensure that we can get that police certificate of character, and not only police certificate of character, but we all make sure too that we can go in your community. We can find out who you are, what do you do, what's your reputation, and we are doing those thorough checks just to make sure that our families will not be affected by any person who joins the program for any other reasons.
So we often at the NTI, remember to log on to nti.org.bb. This is Midweek Mindset. I am Tahir Balbulia with Indian and Nicole Daniel. Sluggy's overseas right now, so just filling in for him. Just for today. But we often talk about personal transformation as part of the national transformation. Why is this so important from where you sit? And why is personal transformation so important?
Well, personal transformation for me, I didn't grow up in a rich household either. I was the only child of my mother. She had 4 girls, and I was the only one who would have attended college and university. Personal development for me, I want to ensure as well that other persons have that opportunity. You in order to start, you have to start somewhere, right? And if you are given the tools to do so. You know, we always say, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, you know, feed him for a lifetime. So we want to impart these things. And whilst we may say that, you know, we have to also make sure that we give them the tools to fish.
Right.
And by giving them the tools to fish, we also gonna make sure that they even want to fish. Because we don't want to force it on anyone. So we want them to, you know, show their true self, be their own self,
Be their
and make
best
sure,
self.
correct, and make sure that that is something that can help them feel empowered, because it's all about that personal development, trying to make sure that you can do better for yourself, be a better person, help the community, and give back in general. So you help society in general, and you strengthen all those families, and then you build a nation.
Mhm. You know, sometimes you might come across someone that is very uncertain of what they want to do in life,
Yes,
and they come to you for help.
yes.
How do you handle that?
Now, for those cases, we have career counselors.
Mhm.
So they give you that aptitude test. You're gonna go through, you know, the test to find out, you know, what's your passion? How do you feel about certain things? And then through that conversation, you're gonna find out there are things that they might want to do.
Mhm.
And then if that is the case, and you know that you're not up to par, we will recommend that you provide or you do or undertake some additional training,
Mhm.
because you want to become more employable. And we don't just want everybody who's not going to be able to be an employee.
Mhm.
But if you are looking at entrepreneurship, we also provide that level of entrepreneurship, those training, that guide to help them to see the vision, the passion that they want to achieve. And we recognize that even if you think you're going to be an entrepreneur, we also have to manage those expectations, because if we manage those expectations, we see that you can't just, if you're going to be an entrepreneur today, you're going to be rich tomorrow, right?
Mhm.
So we're managing those expectations along with whatever it is that we would do.
Sounds good.
Sounds real good for sure. Nicole, you know, you got some success stories that you want to share coming from this program. I know there's many. But share one with the public, man. Give us a story. And it's not a once upon a time story. This is a real story. This is a real
Real
story.
story, yes. Well, we have, although the One Family program is new, as you would have mentioned before, I was a project coordinator for IDB funded Strengthening Human and Social Development Project. So that project really dealt the same model. We would have gone through the same pillar, trying to help these families move out of poverty.
You can continue.
Oh, but we would have had 250 then, and then now we will have 1,000 now. So by doing this, we are making sure. Oh, we're making sure that these families get the necessary help wherever possible.
This is amazing.
And but sorry, I know you asked me about a story. So we have several families who would have gone through the program. One particular family that we had in mind, we would have launched in October last year, and some persons would have come to share their stories. And we want these persons to be champions for us, because whilst they may hear what we have to offer, hearing it from somebody who has actually gone through it, it makes it a little bit easier. So what this particular family would have done, they've come into the project, their rank in terms of the score, when they did the score sheet, they would have scored low. They had no running water, they had no electricity. What the project would have provided were different interventions for them, the counseling, persons who needed remedial assistance. And this is literacy and numeracy. And some persons have a lot of pride, you know, they don't necessarily want to say, well, hey, I'm having challenges in this particular area. But this particular family, they would have gone through the exercise and being able to, you know, be out there to fill out a simple application form, knowing where you have to put everything. We would have also engaged them with parenting skills, and walk them through in terms of CV prep, etc., taking them to classes, entrepreneurship, and becoming their own, you know, individual, etc. And what has happened with that particular household is that we found employment for them. They have sustained the employment, and what they have done with the funds is try to put it back into their household. So now they have running water and they have electricity within their household. So they're using these funds. So as I said, it's not a hands-out program. We're not just gonna give, 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 give. We want you to take the resources that we're giving you, the tools that we're giving you, to make sure that those same tools you can use to help your, ability to feel empowered and establish that sense of self-sufficiency.
And we slowly coming to the end of the program. This is Midweek Mindset with Nicole Daniel from the One Family Program. But we don't just have a midweek mindset. We have a whole week, whole year, whole month mindset of transformation.
That is so
personal transformation, holistic transformation is national transformation. Yeah.
Right.
So Nicole, you got anything?
All right, for a family that wants help, how can they contact you?
So we can be contacted at the Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs. You can contact us by email. We are one, and that's spelled out ONE, one.family@Barbados, and that's Barbados spelled out .gov.bb. So there's one.family@barbados.gov.bb. We also can be reached via the phone. You can call us at the ministry. Our PBS is 535-1600, or you can call us directly in the office at 535-1706 or 535-1780. You can also reach us by WhatsApp. We are 266-1654.
WhatsApp as well.
Definitely WhatsApp. We also have Instagram. So we're One Family Program on Instagram, and we have Twitter as well. That is One Family BDS, and that's our Twitter account. So we have various areas that you can
communicate. So you got every single area One Family. Also follow us on IG, socials, NTI, Star Beijing. So in your parting words, Nicole, what can you say about the National Transformation Initiative? You have 1 minute. 1 minute.
I can say
1 minute might not be enough.
I know, right? Because we are in the same business. We're in the business of transforming lives. And that is what I have to ensure. I want to make sure that we together can transform lives across Barbados, especially those who are most vulnerable.
This is amazing. This is amazing. So just a reminder, this is Midweek Mindset with Nicole Daniel. Log on to nti.org.bb. We have lots of courses, lots of opportunities. We also have courses in mindset, dealing with the mindset, how you could build a mindset, how you could develop a growth mindset to really fit into the 2024 world. The world is changing every single day, every single minute. So we have to deal with those needs. And in closing, Nicole, I just want to thank you for coming on to the program. One thing that stuck out to me is the holistic transition, and also there's a saying that goes, a society is judged by how it treats its most vulnerable and its minority groups. So the fact that Barbados is pulling up the most vulnerable within our society is really, really important, and which is amazing. And I just want to big up the One Family Program. I know it's not easy work that y'all do, but it's tremendous.
Correct. My superhero award.
Yeah, of course. And Wonder Woman.
Yes.
It's tremendous work. I know it's not easy, and sometimes in the journey you feel like you're hitting a rock all the time, but you just keep pushing on, keep impacting lives, keep transforming in every way possible. So I want to thank everybody for listening. Thank you, Nicole. Big up Michael, Dorian, all the social workers, everybody that behind the scenes working with the One Family Program. I'm Indian. Yes. I know I was in school, right? You know, they used to call me Indian and tell me that I used to behave like you, but you know what I was supposed to mean. But I used to listen to you on the radio and thing, on another station, but make it yourself as well. Keep impacting as well, you and Chris Gale. So nti.org.bb, log on today. National Transformation Initiative. This was maybe my set. I'm talking about Bulia, and Sluggy gonna be back next week. I almost say this is something else, but I can be on another station. We'll be 92.9 tomorrow. I almost say that, but Nicole, thank you so very much, and thank you, Indian. Yes, and thank you, Barbados, for listening.
Enjoy the rest of your day. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Midweek Mindset was brought to you by the National Transformation Initiative.